When I think of foster care, I think of a young child who came into our house the day before his 3rd birthday. He had already experienced the trauma of being taken from his mother. Now his foster mom dropped him at daycare that morning. When she left, she had a heart attack in her car and died. Now he's experiencing the trauma of being moved to another stranger's home. One night I was putting him to bed. He was sharing a room with my 16-year-old son at the time, and I was just wondering what this little boy knew about his father. And so, thinking about my own son, I asked him this question. I said, Destin, Skylar is my son. Whose son are you? And this little boy looked back at me, and this is what he said. He said, I'm nobody's son. More than half of the children who went to bed last night went to bed without being able to say goodnight to their own father. What can the church do about this? Angie and I began our foster adoptive journey in 2013. Since then, we've had a couple dozen children come through our home. 12 of those were long-term placements. And then 6 of those children, their parents' rights were either terminated or surrendered. And so we were able to adopt 6 of those children. Ironically, when Angie and I first got married, I wanted 1 child because 1 sounds really easy. My wife wanted 4. And so like every young couple does, we compromised and we had 5. So we have 11 beautiful children today, 8 of which are still at home between the ages of 3 and 14. While we were pastoring and fostering, we discovered an alarming statistic that 30 to 50% of foster families across the nation quit within 1 year with their first placement. And we potentially could become a statistic. By implementing the CompaCare system, in just a snapshot, in 3 years, 5 families fostered over 50 children and 18 adoptions took place, with a 100% retention of those foster families. Listen, the CompaCare system works. These children in foster care deserve stability, love, and hope while they're waiting for their own families to be healed. And the church is the solution. The church is there to help care for them and provide them the safety and the stability that they deserve. Micah 6:8 says, He has shown you, O man, what is good, and what does the Lord require of thee, but to do justice, to love mercy, and to walk humbly with our God. When I filtered this verse of scripture through foster care, I realized this. Justice says that every child deserves a family. Mercy says that every family can do something. And humility says that every something makes a difference. The little boy that I talked about in the beginning of this video is 8 years old today. His name is Ezekiel. And today when I look at this little boy and I ask him the question, Ezekiel, whose son are you? He looks back at me with sunlight in his eyes and he says, I'm your son. Is this not the message of the gospel? Thank you for your desire to be a part of the solution and for stepping in today, even watching this video, to learn maybe what your next step is. We are here to serve you and guide you through the process and helping your church become a huge part of the solution in your own community.